Hello, welcome to the Department of Consumer and Business Affairs. In this video, we will review how to find and identify the party that is being sued. When starting a small claims case, the plaintiff, the party that is starting the lawsuit, needs to be able to locate and identify the party they want to sue, called the defendant. Finding the location of the defendant is important because the defendant must be given the right to appear in court and present their side of the case. This means that the plaintiff must legally notify the defendant when to appear for the court hearing. The judge will not hear the court case unless there has been proper service of court papers that informs the defendant that their appearance is required at the hearing. If the plaintiff cannot locate the defendant and is unable to serve court papers on the defendant, the court case cannot proceed. Naming the defendant correctly is important because the plaintiff cannot collect the judgment if the name of the defendant listed on the court papers does not exactly match the name on the defendant's business license and assets, such as bank accounts, employment records, and property ownership. All parties to a lawsuit are legal entities. A legal entity is any individual, company, business, and private or governmental organization that can legally enter into a binding contract with another legal entity. When naming the plaintiff or the defendant, the entity type is part of the legal name and must be included in the party's name. It is very important to remember that the party who won the lawsuit may not be able to collect the judgment if the opposing party's name is inaccurate or incomplete. Examples of how to name parties to a lawsuit will be presented in the last part of this video. The defendant will usually fall into one of four categories: a person, a business, a landlord, or the government. Some of the information in this video is specifically directed to identifying a defendant located in Los Angeles County. If the plaintiff wants to find the identity and address of a defendant who lives or does business outside Los Angeles County, the plaintiff can search recorded documents filed with government departments in the county where the defendant is located. Typically, the plaintiff is acquainted with the individual they are suing. The dispute often arises during their relationship. Each party has full knowledge of the identity of the other person. However, sometimes the plaintiff and defendant are complete strangers. One example of this would be purchasing a product or selling a product to a stranger you met online. Many consumers respond to ads placed on websites such as Craigslist. A second example would be a car accident where the parties had no prior contact with each other before the collision. To find the defendant, try a Google search. Often there's a lot of information that shows up when you Google a person's name, their phone number, or address. There are many websites that provide personal data free of charge. Examples are fastpeoplesearch.com and smartbackgroundchecks.com. These websites are data aggregators where you can find a person's full name, date of birth, current and previous home addresses, relatives, and lots of other information. You can find a gold mine of personal information by searching on social media websites such as Facebook, and also business and employment-oriented online websites. Occasionally, despite your best efforts, you might not be able to find the other party because they have moved. The U.S. Postal Service provides several ways to assist in locating a defendant's new address. If the person you are looking for has moved, send a letter to their last known address and write the words on the envelope, "Return service requested." There is no need to place any correspondence inside the envelope because the objective is to find the defendant's new address, not to communicate with the other party. If the person filed a change of address with the post office, you may get the letter returned by the post office with their new address. The post office will provide parties to lawsuits with new address information when it is needed for serving court papers. The name of the postal form is Request for Change of Address or Boxholder Information Needed for Service of Legal Process. The requesting party needs to indicate the court case information for the post office to release the new address information. This form is also used if you only have a U.S. Postal P.O. Box address for the party you want to locate. You can request the post office give you the actual physical address the person provided when reserving the P.O. Box. File the form with the post office where the box is located. If you don't know the post office address where the post office box is located, then go to the website listed on this slide for P.O. Box Locator. When suing a business, closely examine any receipts, canceled checks, contracts, and billing statements that you might have. If the business has a website, look under the sections About Us and Contact to see if there's any information regarding the business owner. Virtually all businesses that wish to conduct business in California need a license of some sort to operate. Where the business is located, the industry the business is in, and the ownership structure of the business determine registration and licensing requirements. Names of government agencies and free websites to help you find the legal name of a business are found on our website at the link displayed on this slide. We will review these resources now. Many businesses operate under a name that is not the same as the legal owner of the business. For example, the name on a defendant's business card or on their signpost might not represent their legal name. When the name of the business is different than the owner's name, the business name is referred to as a fictitious business name. The owner of the business is supposed to register the fictitious business name with the county register recorder where the business is located. You can search for the business owner's name at the recorder's office to find the legal name of the business owner. The link to the Los Angeles County Register Recorder's fictitious business name search is on the slide. When you name a business that is using a fictitious business name, you must always list the name of the owner of the business. For example, if you want to sue a business that calls itself Happy Days Pizza, you need to list the individual or the company that owns Happy Days Pizza. Los Angeles County is made up of 88 cities. Locations in the county that are not part of a city are designated as unincorporated areas and are governed by the County of Los Angeles. Most cities in Los Angeles County require businesses operating or performing a service within their city limits to have a business license, also known as a business tax certificate. The business license information will include the legal owner of the business. Contact the County of Los Angeles for business license information for businesses operating in the unincorporated areas. The City of Los Angeles and the County of Los Angeles have online search options on their websites that are shown on this slide. If the city the business is operating in does not offer a license search on their website, contact the city by phone or in person to ask for the procedure to verify license information. Many cities in Los Angeles County have contracted with private companies to provide assistance for all of their business license requirements. In these cases, the cities will provide instructions to request business ownership information from the private contractors. Many companies and individuals have license registration requirements with California state agencies, departments, boards, and commissions. Check with the appropriate government entity to verify a license. A complete list can be found at the California roster on the California Secretary of State website. See the link on this slide. Examples of individuals who must be licensed are attorneys, doctors, dentists, and beauticians. If the owner of a business is a corporation, limited liability company, or a limited partnership, check the California Secretary of State Business Search page. The website, opencorporates.com, provides a database that includes companies located worldwide. Searches at Open Corporates can be done by the name of the company and also by the name of the corporate officers. Businesses related to the motor vehicle industry must register with the Department of Motor Vehicles. The Department of Motor Vehicles Occupational Licensing Status Information System is an online lookup tool used to verify the DMV license status for these businesses. A common use of this tool is to identify the owner of a vehicle dealership. Use the links on this slide to find information about banks, saving associations, and operating subsidiaries. The first link is helpful in finding out the governmental agency that regulates the financial company you are searching for. The second link lists the name and location of banks insured by the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. Companies that operate commercial vehicles transporting passengers or hauling cargo may have to register with the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration and be assigned a U.S. Department of Transportation number referred to as a U.S. dot number. An example is a moving company that transports cargo between states. Residential moving companies that perform moves within California must register with the Bureau of Household Goods and Services. The California Public Utilities Commission regulates privately owned companies that provide telephone service in California. Sometimes it is necessary to use multiple search sites to obtain the correct identity of the defendant. For example, you might not be able to find a moving company's business license or fictitious business name recording, but you have a picture of the moving truck that displays its U.S. dot number on the door of the truck. A search by U.S. dot number at the U.S. Department of Transportation website will give you information about the moving company's owner. In another example, a corporation's name can't be found on the Secretary of State website because the spelling is inaccurate. But if you know the name of one of the corporate officers, searching the officer's name on the Open Corporate website might connect the officer with the company you are looking for. Occasionally, even if you use all available resources, you are still unable to identify the defendant. For example, when making a purchase from the internet, sometimes information on the defendant's website is false. Remember, you cannot proceed with a lawsuit if the identity of the defendant is unknown. There are 58 counties in California. If you are suing your landlord about a dispute regarding a property located in Los Angeles County, contact the Los Angeles County Tax Assessor and the County Register Recorder for ownership information on the property deed. If the property is not in Los Angeles County, contact the county tax assessor and register recorder where the property is located. If the landlord employs a property management company, also name the management company as a second defendant. Before you can sue the state or local government and any government department or agency, you must first file a written claim for damages with the governmental entity. If you are not compensated for the damages you are requesting, then you are able to file a lawsuit. You will find the accurate government name and address on their official claim for damages form. Links to the City of Los Angeles, County of Los Angeles, and the State of California claim for damages forms are shown on this slide. Examples of other public entities are the Metro and the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power. Neither the federal government nor its departments can be sued in small claims court. Following are some examples of how to correctly name the parties to a lawsuit. Visit our website at the link on the slide for additional examples. If you are suing an individual, just list the person's legal name. If you are suing a minor, someone under the age of 18, list the minor's name followed by the parent or legal guardian. If you are suing a business that is owned by an individual, known as a sole proprietorship, name the owner, followed by the letters DBA, which stand for Doing Business As, then list the name of the business. If you are suing a partnership, name each partner individually, followed by the name of the business. If you are suing a corporation, write the exact name of the corporation and indicate it is a corporation in parentheses. If you are suing a business owned by a corporation, name the corporation and the business. If you are suing a bank chartered by the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, add the abbreviation for National Association, which is NA. If you are suing a trust, name the trustee and the trust. In landlord-tenant disputes, it is commonplace for the landlord to be a trust. Verify property ownership with the Registrar recorder or the county tax assessor. If you are suing a public entity, which is a state or local government, as well as any agency, office, or department run by a state or local government, make sure the words public entity are placed after the name. This video is intended to provide litigants with resources to search for the location and the identity of the defendant and provide information for correctly naming the parties to a lawsuit. Thanks for watching.